Hey guys, and welcome to the next tutorial here on the Duct Tape Super channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make a duct tape iPod Sports Band. Let's get started here. Alright, so what we're going to start out with is making the holder, the pouch for your iPod. I'm basing mine off of a 5th generation iPod Nano. I know the new ones look much different. This is mine. I got a few years ago. And so we're going to use that. If you have any other type of iPod, what you would do is you would measure it, its height and width, and pretty much do this exact same process, just off those measurements. What I did here is I cut out 4 strips, approximately 4 inches long. The height of my iPod is about 3.5 inches, so I added a little bit of room there. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the first 2 pieces, and I'm just going to stick them together. And if you have extras like I do, I know I'm going to here, you can either fold that over like I'm doing, or you can trim it. Like I might have to trim this if it's doesn't get covered up for that little stuff. But so there's your first, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this other one here. And what's really nice about a cutting mat is I have numbers on the side here too, and so there's not going to be a lot of room for this piece, but even that extra few inches makes a lot of difference for your iPod. And so just take that up piece, cover it up, and then what you're going to do is you're going to make pretty much an exact duplicate of this, and just make that. So do that now. So here's my 2 sheets. What you want to do is you want to pair them up and see if they're pretty close to the same size. When you put them together, if there's a little extra hanging out, just you can trim that off. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a few pieces and pretty much connect these 2 together. It doesn't have to be exact on the bottom. On the sides you want it at least pretty close. And so just make sure those are lined up. And then so you cut out 2 more 4-inch pieces. And then you put those on the sides, and then fold it over, and then do that for both sides. And then trim off any extra that you have. And then so there's your nice little pouch for your iPod. I'll slide mine in here. So that's pretty much the pouch. What I'm going to do for this one right now is I'm going to cut out a notch at the corner, because as you can see we have the headphone jack there. So I know that's not the same for every iPod, so you're just gonna have to compensate for that when you're making your pouch. So and so you'll see that fits through just right there, and you'll see that it has a lot of wiggle room. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a top half so you can keep that iPod in, because iPods are expensive. We don't want them to fall on the ground when you're running or riding your bike or anything. So what I'm going to do now is depending on how much you have here, I'm pretty much going to guess and go for about 2 inches. So you cut out a 2-inch piece, and then what you do, you're gonna cut that approximately in half, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. And then you're pretty much gonna stick those two together just to make a piece to come over the top of your iPod. So that'll pretty much fit over like this, and now you see that it's harder for your iPod to get out. So pretty much to attach this to the back, get a small piece and stick that on the back of your iPod case right there. What I would do is I would get multiple pieces and make sure that's secure, so so that doesn't fall off there. So this is pretty much the basis of your iPod holder. We'll add some Velcro right here and right here, so you can Velcro that down. We'll do that after we make the armband, which is what we're going to do right now. So we'll get that started. Pretty much to make your armband is, I would cut out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do about 15 inches. You cut out 2 strips about approximately 15 inches, and that's a little large for even somebody with a big arm. So if you need more, add more. If you need less, it's okay. You can trim some off later. So we're pretty much going to stick these two pieces together. And this might be a little bit hard for some people because of it's a pretty large piece of duct tape. But you should get pretty good. If there's any extra, you can trim it off. And so what you're going to do now is test that on your arm. I know you guys probably can't see that, but bring the camera up. Test that around your arm. And that fits pretty much perfectly on mine. There might be a little extra. So what you can do with that is you don't have to measure out exactly how much extra you have, but cut a little bit off. I am, at least, maybe about an inch or two. And then what you're going to do is you're going to get your pouch here, and then get your duct tape. And it's going to be not difficult, but it depends on how you put this pouch, attach it to the armband. So right now I'm going to place it right here, and then just to make sure it's really secure, I'll put a piece right here. A piece right here. And then fold a piece over so your iPod is really secure on there. So, and honestly, it doesn't really matter which way you put that on. So I have my slot in the back and just Velcro it over right here. You can do that on the front. It doesn't matter whichever way you do it. So that is your basic parts of your armband. pretty much what we can do is you can either use pieces of duct tape to tape this over, like that, or what I do is I use Velcro. You put a piece of Velcro right here, and a piece of Velcro right here, and then slide your arm on through. So I guess I'll show you guys what it looks like all plugged in. Plug my headphones in. Oh yeah, and this is a tribute that duct tape fixes everything. My headphones, the connecting jack broke, and the wire was starting to get frayed, and so what I did was I just put a piece of duct tape on there, and the problem was fixed. My iPod is... There you go. Fold that over, and that is our duct tape iPod case, holder, sports band, whatever you want to call it. So that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial, and go out and make one. Alright, see you guys later.